Welcome to another edition on the supply chain basics. I am Coach Grenville, and I'm here today to talk about the top three forecast accuracy influencers. The first and foremost factor we need to keep in mind when we're looking at forecast accuracy is that it always improves with the level of the aggregation. So, whether it is across the levels of the SKU, starting from the SKU level and working up to the group and to the category level, or whether it is along the period, which is the daily, weekly, or monthly period, these factors help dampen the impact of the random variation. So, if you are looking at an accuracy at a product group level, it will always be higher than when you look at an SKU level. The same way, if you look at the monthly accuracy for the same parameters, it will always be higher than the weekly accuracy, which in turn would always be better than the daily accuracy. So the lower you go or the more micro you go into the definition of the SKU or the time period, the level of the accuracy always would be worse. The next factor you should always keep in mind is that the short term is always more accurate than long term. The reason being that the visibility of the information and the likelihood of change is much more accurately predicted when you do it in the short term than you look at it in the long term. So a longer horizon increases the chances of change and things that you did not anticipate that happens in the day-to-day of implementation will definitely bring a factor to influence the accuracy levels. So a long-term example would be seasonal clothing. For example, in the summer, if you're trying to predict the forecast for a winter clothing, you would have to do it at least 6 months in advance to cover the lead times of producing and shipping the products. But by the time you get to the winter period, the whole forecast could have changed by different factors, whether it's the economy or other factors too. An example of a short term would be grocery replenishment for the next week. So, groceries generally are a stable cyclical business, which would easily be predicted with the SKU level too. So, when you're looking at a short term, the accuracy is always more accurate than looking further away from the period of forecasting. The third and final factor is that you always would find it much more easier to forecast a stable business or a consistently occurring business as of today. New product introduction has a less history and a less probability of change vis-a-vis a mature or established product. So when you're having mature products, you would have a stable demand, and with the stable demand, the accuracy of forecasting is much higher. For example, grocery consumption is much more accurate than fast fashion, as I mentioned in the last period, because grocery business is a much more cyclical and a stable business. And you would find your accuracy and forecasting that industry or that sector of the forecasting market would be much more accurate than fast fashion. So, in my view, the top three factors that influence forecast accuracy is with the level of aggregation. We would always improve the forecast accuracy. If you forecast much closer to the period of forecast than the long term, you would be much more accurate and would be much more easier in a stable business than in a new product or a developing market or a seasonal market. So overall, keep these three factors in mind whenever you're doing forecasting to ensure that you get the accuracy that you're looking for in your business. So you found this video of value, and the pointers that I gave you in this video would help you make your forecast more accurate and help you add value to your organization. I'm Coach Grenville, and I will be back with a similar video shortly to further increase your knowledge on S&OP and forecasting as well. Have a good day and stay safe.